Look, we got breaking news in the NBA right now involving two electrifying rookies. We're going to get into it. Montaz Buzellis and Stephon Castle. They have declared for the 2025 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. You know, these two rookies, man, give them props. All Star Weekend should be a movie. I'm going to get into why these guys showing a lot of heart, declaring for this. Hopefully, this sets the tone for some of our elite NBA players, because it's a travesty that we don't see the right names. And I'm gonna get into who's to blame for this. It's gonna be a long one, y'all. We're gonna break it all down. Um, Castle, the first reported player to enter the 2025 dunk contest, will be the first Spur to compete in the slam dunk contest since Cadillac Anderson back in 1988. Stephon Castle, he was the number 4 overall pick. We all know that. He's doing big things. He's dunking it a little bit. I don't know if I look at him as a guy that's just banging it, pause. But you gotta. I mean, who else do we have in the field? Because we got everybody scared, running, ducking, and hiding. It's a travesty that we haven't seen some of the right guys in there. We got to resort to these rookies showing the heart. But we all know that Castle, he showed some hops. He caught some alleys. He hit some dunks in traffic. We all know what this kid, potentially has to bring. I like how San Antonio was bringing him along. They got Chris Paul, so they're not asking a lot from Stephon Castle right away. This season, the kid is averaging 11 points per game, shooting 40% from the field. He got to pick his 3-point percentage up, only shooting 25%, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I just think that they're gonna bring him on slowly. Let him back up Chris Paul for another season. And then let's go from there. So they got the right progression. For Stephon Castle. Also, the San Antonio Spurs in 19 and 22, 12th in the West. They're scratching and clawing for a playoff berth or playing anything. I do think there's a possibility that they could get there. He's playing with, Wemby. It don't get no better than that, y'all. So but if we want to get into Montaz Buzellis, obviously Buzellis, he's electrifying. What is the kid? 6'10". He was the number 11th overall pick back in the 2024 draft. A lot of people feel like he slipped. He should have been, a much more hotter commodity, but it is what it is. The kid is averaging 4 points, shooting 38% from the field, 33% from three, 2 rebounds. He's doing all this in 12 minutes. Mind you, they're rookies, so you got to give these guys time to develop and progress. It's too much of this guy's supposed to be the finished product, day one. It doesn't work out like that for everybody. But Montaz, he's gained a lot of respect with his hops. I mean, everybody knows this kid can jump. That preseason dunk that he had was epic. Everybody was talking about it for a long time. So I think the sky's the limit. He's another guy who I think Chicago is bringing on slow. I think that, once you remove Zach, you remove Vooch, we don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with their veterans after this season or even at the deadline. Even though the way things are moving, I don't see any crazy deadline moves happening. You know, um, but I do see a situation where, you know, that Montaz eventually gets the reins, in terms of running the show, a little bit more. I think along with Kobe White, I think Kobe White is being groomed to be possibly the leader, the go-to scorer when all of the veterans leave. So I do like how they are building, Kobe White up, and then he's got a lot of good veterans and, good young players to play behind. So all of that is truly special, in my humble opinion. Whether it's Vucevic, Zach Levine, Lonzo, whoever, they've all taken this guy under their wing and allowed him to blossom and become the player that he is going to become is only so long he's gonna be able to play behind all of these vets. These guys got to go on and win. You want to see Lonzo in a winning situation, possibly competing for a title, running and gunning and orchestrating that kind of squad. Could you imagine that? We want to see Zach LaVine maybe in Denver somewhere, maybe the fifth option, fourth option, to where all the weight of the world is not on his shoulders, because you could see Zach LaVine, or the weight of the world is starting to wane on him. The kid is a great player, but maybe he's not the number one option. In Chicago, they position him as the number one option, for whatever reason. But it didn't work out when they brought in other players. They brought in a veteran in DeMar DeRozan. I felt like him and Zach never really hit it off. I felt like they had a lot of issues. They were bumping into each other. Their games and styles clashed, and it was not a good, perfect fit. But let's get into the real situation here with the dunk contest, to the reason why it's in the state of emergency that it's in. I blame that on guys like LeBron James. I think he set the tone for it, because I think LeBron, he altered history, because if he dunks in the dunk contest, you set the tone for every young superstar after you, and it had to be LeBron. It couldn't just be a Carmelo Anthony or a Dwayne Wade or something like that. It had to be a vet, in my humble opinion. Y'all agree with me in the comment section. It had to be LeBron James, King James himself. And King James, he elected to drop the ball on it, something, a feat that Michael Jordan didn't do. Jordan set the tone for the people after him. Then you don't see an Anthony Edwards. Look at Edwards, the way he dunks it, in these regular season games and the playoffs. Could look at Zion. That's just an all-out travesty that we don't see Zion Williamson, dunking in the dunk contest, one of the best dunkers of this generation, and we don't get a chance to see him at that level. There's only one guy to blame. That's why these guys can laugh the dunk contest off. Look at John Morant. He ain't even taking a dunk contest seriously. It's just one big joke. They're not even thinking about the dunk contest. So I give credit to these rookies, even though they're not the guys who is going to alter the history. It's going to take, maybe a Cooper Flag, or, somebody who's electric, to set the tone for the next generation. Like, no, we doing this. This is a part of, what we do, especially if you're a top guy. It's unfortunate. We want to see not only the dunk contest, the skills challenge. All-Star weekend, it could be forgettable. It's time to make it memorable. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's Flight Sports TV. Peace and love. Shout out to these rookies, man. The dunk contest, hopefully, is going to be good. But I think something's gonna tell me that we're gonna walk out thinking, damn, what if he was in it? We'll find out. It's Flight Sport.